The council members were astonished as they witnessed the bold courage of Peter and John, especially when they discovered they were just ordinary men who had never had religious training. They did have 3 years with Jesus. They didn't have religious training in seminary to be lawyers, doctors of the law like the Pharisees, but they did have 3 years with Jesus. Let's leave that verse there for a moment. Let me explain what happens when we are with the Anointed One. The word anoint in the Bible, it means to smear. Everyone say to smear. You know, we anoint with oil, we rub oil on somebody. We're anointing them, we're smearing that oil on them, or rubbing that oil on them. I know some of you are all into essential oils and all that kind of stuff. You're like, yeah, anoint yourself with everything and like get that all over me. Okay, to smear. Check this out. Listen, when you are with Jesus, the anointing on the Anointed One gets smeared and rubbed onto your life. So the power that's on Him is now on you, and people begin to understand the effect Jesus has on you simply because you spent time with Him like these guys did here. Then they began to understand the effect Jesus had on them simply by spending time with Him. That's simple. The next verse says, noticing the healed man next to them, they couldn't say anything else. All of that was the effect. Their boldness, the way they were talking, the gospel being preached, the supernatural healing, all of that was the effect of these untrained guys simply spending time with Jesus. Ordinary people walking with an extraordinary God leads to a supernatural life. That doesn't mean that we're walking on water every minute of our life or raising the dead every second of our life, but it does mean signs are going to follow. And it's not because we were striving after them. It's because we were spending time with the Anointed One, and now His anointing is beginning to flow through our lives. It's a supernaturally natural thing that starts to happen. Or naturally supernatural, or however you want to say it. So we see that ordinary people were visibly affected by Jesus simply by spending time with Him. Simply by being intentional and consistent. They were so affected by His presence that God's kingdom began to leak out and spill out all around them. And friends, there's one word that describes this happening in and through our lives, and that word is revival. It is what you are called to. It's what I am called to. We're not called any status quo maintenance, kind of just like monotone, just not doing anything with our lives. We are called to revival, to start it, to live in it, to personally walk in it, to see it happen in us and through us. We are called to revival. This is a picture of revival, and it all flows out of this simple call that we see at the end of Acts 4:13, spending time with Him. Presence, people, purpose.